Today's journey starts right here in Brownsville, New York, considered to be one of New York City's most dangerous neighborhoods. To make it out of Brownsville and to find yourself in a situation where you're surrounded by loved ones, you're healthy, and you're successful is a true American story. And today's guest, Jose Rios, aka Flex, FLX, sits down with me and he talks about leaving Brownsville, coming to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, adjusting to the new life, and eventually truly appreciating it. We've always heard the cliche saying, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Flex is a living example of that. When we talk about grit and grind and starting from the bottom, there's no other journey that I'm more excited to share about than this one right here. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. This is Flex's journey, and these are
the Journeyman Chronicles.
Dope thing about this interview is there's two Flexes in this room as we speak. Not only is Jose's nickname Flex, but so is mine. We don't address that in this interview. It was one of those things that I wish I would have, but it just slipped my mind. But there are about 3 Flexes in Lancaster City that I know of, and there's 2 of us in this room right now. Getting to know Flex, Jose, FLX Productions, getting to know him, behind the beat making, behind the entrepreneurial venture that he's in the middle of right now with Creative Hope Studios alongside TJ Griffin is pretty cool. And getting him into the Journeyman Chronicles seat to have a word with him was exciting for me. I'm glad to present this to you right now. This is episode 29 of the Journeyman Chronicles. This is with Jose Rios, aka Flex. Let's go. You listen to Flex Productions, FLX, and the beats and hip hop and the culture. Listening to your beats and reading your posts and knowing how important that is to you. What was it about hip hop that caught your attention? I'm assuming from a very young age. Yeah.
Oh man, as far as I can remember, I remember Christmas. I was probably say about 13 years old, maybe a little bit younger. And my mother bought me a Fat Boys vinyl. That was my very, very first vinyl because I used to mess around with her records and throw records on it and mess around. So she bought me a Fat Boys record because I used to love this song. That was my first thing about hip hop. I loved it. I loved the dancing of it. I loved the style of it when I was younger. Really didn't start doing music into beat making and stuff like that till I was around maybe 16, 17.
Okay.
My grandfather was a musician actually.
What do you do?
He sang and he played guitar, and he was signed to Latin Columbia Records years ago.
Okay.
He passed away. He got killed when I was very, very young. I was probably a year old or something like that.
Sorry.
Thank you. But his name is my name.
Okay.
And I'm the only one in the family who does music
and has
his name. Everyone else doesn't do music.
Got you.
So I lived in Brownsville, Brooklyn, one of the baddest parts in Brooklyn. And I grew up in an environment, in a hood environment. Most of my friends were black. I was probably one of the only Puerto Ricans who can walk around outside because I knew a bunch of people, a lot of gangsters, a lot of hood people outside who had respect. They took me underneath their wings. So
got you.
And had a group of friends that loved the rap. They just loved the rap. So I was always around them, and they started to buy studio time. Yeah, they started to buy studio time. Manslaughter was the name. And they were dope. The whole hood loved them and everything. And I started to go to the studio with them and seen this one guy, this producer. His name is Swanee Rivers. I still have him to this day on Facebook. He's one of my good friends, and he grew up with my mother. His name is Swanee Rivers, and he was producing, banging on his black box. just hitting, doing this, pressing buttons and stuff. And I'm sitting back like, wow, I don't rap, can't rap. You know what I mean? And I'm just sitting there enjoying the music and the vibe, and you know, it felt like mom's house because mommy used to play music all the time.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
so I got curious about the box, and I you know, looked around, seen the name, went back, researched it, told my moms that I wanted it, that I needed it, I wanted to learn. Started to mess with Fruity Loops. That's what it was first called.
Yep.
And then she bought me the MPC 2500.
Okay.
Like, I found this kid in Manhattan, rich kid in Manhattan, whose father paid like $4,000 for it at the time, and he was selling it for $800 because he didn't know how to mess with it. So I got it for $800.
There you go.
A $3,000 piece of equipment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there was no turning back after that. At my age right now, you can't force me to do something that I don't want to do, especially if I really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You gotta come. You gotta.
Sure.
You gotta really convince me.
Well, I mean, you're so set in your ways by this point in your life. It's like, why do I can relate to that. I never put it that way. Nobody could make me do something that I don't want to do right now because I have zero chill and zero fucks at 43 years old. I don't want to do that. Dog, there's times where people come over to my house and, you know, I'm up at 3:30 in the morning for work. So Saturdays, by the time I come home from work and we get a get-together going on and people are coming over, I want to entertain as much as possible. But God bless my wife because she knows it and I try. But there comes a point where I hit this, I'm done. And I just walk upstairs.
You want to hear something funny?
Go ahead.
Me and Nina, we have a thing where when we go anywhere, I don't care where it's at, my family's house, it could be a funeral, it could be whatever. If I go to her, she goes to me, she says I'm at 100, we out of there.
That's nice. So you got the code.
Yeah, that means that we're at our 100 level of happiness and fun. It ain't gonna get no higher than this.
Okay.
And now it's time to go home.
Okay, you peaked.
Yeah, we peaked. We peaked of our happiness.
Yeah.
We're ready to go home.
I like that.
And I'm at 100, and she look at me, I look at her, and we start saying bye to everybody, and we're gone.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Go home.
You guys, when you have that code, is it like an effort? Like, all right, we're gonna make this work. I'm not gonna give you the 100 mark at 10 minutes in. Oh, it's whenever.
I mean when we go out, we have our intentions.
Sure.
When we go out, we don't leave in 20 minutes. I mean, we stay for an hour or two.
Yeah, and then.
But then after hour two, that 100 can come. That 100 can come like that. As soon as I come out the bathroom, she's like, I'm at 100. Okay, let's go. And we'll leave. We'll walk right out.
That's like music to your ears. Yeah.
Sometimes it is, bro.
Yeah.
No matter how much fun you having.
Nah,
I can be in
love
a club, in a party, in a wherever, and people are having fun, and I'm having fun too. But in the back of my head, I'm like, fuck, I want to go home.
Yeah, I've bounced.
It's weird.
I've left. I've had people that take me someplace, and I walk home. Yeah, I'm out. I walked home from Lebanon. I walked home from. I'm not lying, though. 3 hours out because I was just like.
I was homeless, so I know what it is to feel like you lost fucking everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've done it before. So there's no problem with me. That's why to this day now I'm not afraid to lose anything. I'll lose it all. And it'll be stressful, but I'll be okay.
Yeah.
That's why losing it all, I'm not afraid of it.
I wonder if like, and I don't know this feeling, so you know I'm gonna pick your brain here because I'm just thinking of this now. But at that time when everything shut down, there was like a collective what the fuck across the whole fucking country. Yeah. And I wasn't sure if not that softened the blow, but I'm wondering if that was like okay, we're all for the most part on the same page here. So if they're going to do it, I'm going to do it. Like if they're going to get back up, you know, sometimes when you go through it on your own, it's fucking dark. But I felt like when the whole world shut down, like
feel a little bit more comfort.
Yeah, a little more.
Going through the same thing.
Yeah,
which is understandable.
Well, I think even just not even like doing business, having your own business, but just the entire like, what the fuck's going on? No one knows what the fuck's going on. We're all in the same boat. Yeah. There was a kind of like a comfort in that, like,
all right, well, then we're not the only
We gotta
ones.
figure this out.
It was
Everyone's
weird.
gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a kind of a little cushion to know that you weren't the only one going through it, and everyone else is going through it with you, and
Yeah.
and everyone else felt their certain ways because it hit hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For everyone who had jobs who couldn't go to work and was getting paid less. But it worked out for some people.
Sure.
Some people owned businesses and got PP loans and actually lived 100 times better than what they were living prior to COVID. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people now understand their worth a little bit more and don't want to go back to work and want to create something and want to become entrepreneurs and want to do that because they actually got a taste of being home and being with their family and their kids and seeing what it is to feel like living and making and having money to live with, because that's what the government did. It gave you a lot of money and gave you a lot of time, and you can't turn that back without feeling a weird way.
Yeah. It flipped the script on a lot of things too, because the way we live now, a lot of it was predicated off of how COVID affected the game. I mean, just dumb shit like how I can order my shit on Sheets and someone can bring it to my car. That shit wasn't happening.
To your house.
Yeah.
To your house.
You see what I'm saying? Like that business. I mean, like, and like I said, like I don't want people thinking like I'm finding a comic relief through a tragedy like COVID.
No,
but
I'm sure everyone understands.
Yeah, but there was like, I was having fucking alcohol delivered to my crib. And nobody was doing that until COVID started. So I can only imagine, like, do you think because of COVID, the program that you and TJ are doing right now with Creative Hope, do you think anything from that COVID experience, the ideas that you took from that experience that were born because of that experience are why your business is as successful as it is now?
Yeah. Well, you gotta understand, COVID came and Creative Hope Studios was created through COVID. The idea came about because we were in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
And the idea came about was because I was doing a music program also, and he was doing a hip hop entrepreneur program and financial literacy program and stuff like that. And we were physically going to the program. So now our idea was, how can we take your program and my program, put it together, and give them this package to where they don't need us anymore.
Got you.
It's going to hurt our pockets because we can't come back to these things, but we're doing it for the kids. We're actually creating a program to give to you guys, to train the staff on how to utilize the program.
That's right.
And now you don't need no people to come into your programs because you can't. You can't even have a mat. You can't even go into these facilities. So now we don't need to go there. Now you have everything. Y'all can do this program by yourself.
Yeah.
All we do is create the program, create the structure, and train you on the structure and the program, and now you have it.
That's so dope.
For whenever this happens again, if it does happen, God forbid, I hope it doesn't, you know what I mean? But say, for instance, if things close again, they don't need us. They have all that stuff. You know what I mean?
No, I think, that idea of, and you're right, that's when you say it's going to hurt our pockets, but that shows how passionate you are about what you're doing.
Yeah.
That you're taking it a step further and saying, I'm going to show you how to do this. Yeah. When you, the staff, teaching the staff, like how involved are they do you find them wanting to be involved to teach the students or?
Yeah. Well, the ones that they pick out, because when we go and we train staff, we make sure that the facility picks the people who are the most interested in the music, in the program.
Because that's what I was getting at.
You got to have a buy-in in it, because if you have people inside there that's just there to be there because they called a meeting for training, it ain't going to go well. And we've seen that in the beginning of Creative Hope. So now we only train from 1 to like 5 people, 1 to 6 people, depending on the size of the room where we put the studio and the media station in. So it can be a range from 1 to 5 people. And we train them, and they have a buy-in. And I created the program. I created the training the way it's super, super easy. I take all that technical stuff out of the way and give it to you the way, without selling it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You learn it, and that's just it.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And right now that we're kind of like on the, we're back to some sort of a normalcy. Yeah. Creative Hope Studios is back to going in person, or how's that?
No. Well, It's normal. So we do master classes. They call us out to certain places to do a master class on the equipment and things like that. But for right now, we're so busy with Creative Hope Studios that we don't do in-person programming anymore unless it pops up. We're not fishing for programming.
Yeah.
So we're so busy with Creative Hope Studios and growing Creative Hope Studios that at this moment we're in the process of just